How's it going, my friend? Dan DeSilva here, and welcome. So in this video, I'm going to teach you all about Shopify email automation and how we make thousands of dollars profit every single year and every month and every single week just by utilizing email. These are extra sales. These are sales that, quite frankly, you don't have to pay for ever again when it comes down to Facebook ads because you already acquired the lead or the customer. So check this out. This is just one of the stores that we run, and again, this isn't super impressive. I'll show you some super impressive stats in just a few moments, but this is an account that we're revitalizing because this is something that we stopped using before, then we restarted the store. But as you can see, the audience size isn't that big. So if you just take a look right over here, you can see that our audience sizes range between 8,000 all the way up to 19 or even 20,000. But if you take a look at the conversion values, because this is a quote unquote revitalizing list, we're actually going ahead and cranking out, and all this is just extra income and extra profit that we're getting from this particular list. So right over here, 991, 75, 79, 141, $300, $500, $400, you get the idea. So you can see right over here, generated to 7.3K, so $7,300 that we went ahead and actually made back into our pocket, selling 174 units, and then only attributed to 2% of the total revenue. Now here's the craziest part about all of this, is that we only implemented this, and I know you're gonna watch this entire tutorial and be like, Dan, you knew all of this, but you didn't implement it? Yes, because I came into the store late as a partnership. So when it comes down to it, installing email is going to make you so much money. Take a look at these stats. So as you can see right over here, if you just take a look on the right-hand side, if you have email lists in the hundreds of thousands of people, you can potentially get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% open rates on these emails, which equate to 10,000, 12,000, 11,000, 3,000, 14,000, 21,000, $25,000, and so on. So just with these email campaigns alone, as you can see, January 7th, 9th, 9th, 11th, just with these email campaigns alone, this particular store has generated over $100,000. And guess what? These customers were already acquired, they were already paid for, and this is just profit at this point. So with that being said, I'm gonna hop into the very first part. You're gonna learn everything the email provider, the email service provider that we use, why we use them, everything. You're gonna see how to install it in your store, set up automations, everything you need to know. So with that being said, enjoy this entire training series. Shoot a thumbs up if you want more training like this. And if you really, really enjoy it, share it with somebody who can get use out of this as well. So again, let's get right into it. Welcome everybody to the beginning of the email automation for Shopify. This is the very first part where we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off, and I'm going to introduce you to just some platforms that you can use. Now, before I really go ahead and dive into this, I'm not going to waste too much time on a bunch of platforms and show you, the pros and cons of all of them, because you can use whichever one you want. But I'm going to use the best service that I know and I love to use. It's called SendLane.com. Now everybody knows there's services like Klaviyo. There's a bunch of different services that you can go ahead and use. Now they're all relatively competitively priced, meaning that they all pretty much cost the same. Now I'm going to use SendLane for this entire tutorial. Why? Because just like in the beginning of the video where I went ahead and showed you just some of the results that we've been able to produce with SendLane, this is across the board for all of our stores and pretty much everything that I run with SendLane. I also run my personal brand with SendLane. So when I say that I use SendLane for everything, I legitimately mean that I use it for everything when it comes to e-commerce, personal brand, whatever it is. So the first thing you're going to do is just head over to SendLane.com, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do the setup in your store. We're going to set up lists. We're going to talk about cart abandonment, the emails and how to set it up. I'm going to show you the customer flow sequences, the newsletter sign-up sequences, the delivery rates and what you can expect with delivery. I'll also cover broadcasting and tracking. Then we're going to talk about tags and how to implement, and then we're also going to talk about segments and pretty much everything that you need to know in order to make this work and how you can make money with it. Now, email is very important. You know that. I'm not going to sit here for 15 minutes explaining why and how you can make way more money with email. So what you're going to do is you're going to click try for free, and it's going to take you to a register page. Now, when you register, it needs to be your company website. Now, again, it needs to be support at my company website or Dan at mycompanywebsite.com, whatever it is. So when I signed up, I used Golden Lion Crown, the site that I'm going to be showing you, and kind of the site that we made during that really long 2021 tutorial of Shopify. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you watch that down below in the description. So you're going to go ahead and just set up a email for your particular Shopify store. Now, the easiest way to do this would actually be going into your store, right? Going into your domains, and then you'll actually have the ability to set up an email inside of your particular domain. So I registered this on Namecheap, so I set it up a little bit differently. And you'll learn how I set that up differently inside of the other video that is in the description. So otherwise, if you buy the domain, you'll be able to just set up a forwarding email like support@mydomain.com. And that's exactly what you're going to go ahead and enter inside of the email address, because that's what they require. First name, last name is going to be yours, your password, your phone number, and then I'm not a robot. And then they'll take you through like a little survey saying, what are you looking to use SendLane for, et cetera, et cetera. So now that you go ahead and you get your SendLane account, and let me actually go ahead and log into the example one that I created for Golden Lion Crown. 1 second. And I'm just going to log in really quickly. And you'll see right over here, this is what the backend dashboard looks like. And so we are inside of Golden Lion Crown, and I actually think that I removed it. So we'll take a look in just a second. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to link it with Golden Lion Crown. Now let me just check the apps and make sure it's not here. Okay, so I'm going to delete this really quickly just because I already have it installed. So I want to reinstall it. So if you go to your apps and it doesn't say SendLane, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and hover over here into integrations, and we're going to integrate it with your store right now. And you're going to click on Shopify, click configure, and you see over here it just has Dan DeSilva Consulting. That's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to connect integration, and then all we want to do is just grab this part of the URL, just the name of the store without the .myshopify, and we're going to paste it right in here. And we're going to click continue. But first, what we want to do, this is very important. If you have more than one store, you want to go ahead and pick which email list to add them to, all the new customers, right? So in order to do that, we would hover right over here where it says audiences. We'd actually click on lists, right? We'd click lists, and we would click new list. And then what we would do is name this Golden Lion Customers, right? Click create, and now we have Golden Lion Customers. Let's go back to lists one more time. Golden Lion Newsletter, so Golden Lion Newsletter. Click create, and go back to lists one more time, and then Golden Lion Cart Abandonment. Click create. Now this is also relatively important. Instead of clicking lists over here, you're going to click on senders. So click on senders, and then your sender profiles are really important. So whenever I send emails from Golden Lion, it'll come from Golden Lion Crown, the from name, and the from email is from@goldenlioncrown.com. Now, when I do emails from toplevelecom.com, it comes from toplevelecom, and the from email address is support@toplevelecom.com. Now you can create a new sender profile with the email. Remember I said register with your actual email from your store? You can go ahead and create a new sender name here and just put your store. So I could just do Golden Lion, right? Company name, this is the from name, Golden Lion, support@goldenlioncrown.com. Reply to can be the same thing. Address, I'll just use an old address of mine. And then I'll just click add sender. And now the new sender is created inside of here. So let's revert back to integrating with Shopify, clicking on this little box where it says integrations, and then click on Shopify, click on configure, click on connect integration, and then we're going to grab the URL once more. We're going to go back to integrations, put it in here, and choose your default list to sync new customers. Remember, Golden Lion Customers, and we'll click continue. So now the integration has been added. So it's going to go ahead and tell you to install the application, and you're just going to click install uninstalled app. And it's going to go ahead and install SendLane. And now the integration, if I go back to apps and refresh this, SendLane should be back in here. So here we go. SendLane is back in here. So we've connected our Shopify store with our SendLane account. So now we're going to be able to go ahead and set up, newsletters, broadcast emails, automations for purchases, all of that. Now, the other thing I want you to do is the following. You see where it says Golden Lion Crown, what you just installed? I want you to click Manage. And you see where it says Choose Your Newsletter List? Click on your newsletter list that we created for this particular example. So this is cart abandonment and cart abandonment. So you see newsletter. We have the new customers, and then we have cart abandonment. And make sure you leave this checked. Remove customers from the cart abandonment list the moment they go ahead and make a purchase. And we'll click continue. So that has been fully integrated. And now everything is set up and working seamlessly inside of your store. So when somebody goes ahead and registers to your Shopify newsletter, they'll be added to the newsletter. If somebody abandons the cart in Shopify, they'll be automatically added to your cart abandonment series. If they go ahead and they purchase, they'll be added to your purchases. And you can create automations all around that. Now, that's what we're going to talk about next, all right? We're actually going to dive into automations right now. Now, the second part of this training is all about cart abandonment. And cart abandonment is so powerful if done correctly. So with that being said, let me hop in and show you how to set up cart abandonment with SendLane, so anybody who abandons your checkout will automatically get their product sent to their email inbox, in their primary email inbox, with a dynamic add to cart button that brings them directly back to the checkout with the product in cart. So let's see how to set that up. Next, you're going to learn all about cart abandonment. Now, what cart abandonment is when somebody goes to your actual website and they go ahead and they go through the checkout process, but they essentially leave, right? So if they go to checkout and then they bail from the checkout, it'll go ahead and capture the person who decided to bail. So let me just kind of go ahead and do this, right? And then let's just do this really quickly. Let's see. All right, so let's just say somebody gets to this point and then they say no. So what's gonna happen is SendLane's gonna pick up on this in roughly, I'd say 2 to 5 minutes or so, depending on how fast they talk to each other. So what is gonna happen is inside of the cart abandonment list, you're going to see that my name and email is going to appear there. So because of the fact that we have inside of here, our apps, we have SendLane installed, bringing in all the cart abandonment. So what we want to do, and which is rather important, is we want to set up the email series that gets sent out automatically to anybody who leaves. So we're going to hover over here and we're going to click on automations. Now when we click on automations, on the top right hand, you can click new automation. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on e-commerce. And then from e-commerce, recover cart abandonments. My mouse was literally over it. So we're going to click that. And check this out. If we click right over here where it says customer abandoned checkout, the store, we need to pick the actual store, limit contacts, right? Once per day. All right. So you can just go ahead and do no limit. And what you want to do is considered abandoned after. We're going to put 1 hour, right? So don't mind right over here where I have it set up. So 6 hours, 24, and 48 hours. So you can do 1 hour, but we have 6 hours over here. Inside the cheat sheet, let me just change this really quickly. It should be 1 hour. So it's 1, 24, and then 48. So we're going to set it to 1 hour right over here. So there's no limit whatsoever. And so there we go. Golden Lion Crown, no limit, abandoned after 1 hour. So in 1 hour, what's going to happen is I'm going to be receiving this particular email. So really quickly, we're going to click on this little pencil icon to rename it. And we're going to do Golden Lion Crown. So I'm going to just abbreviate it. And I'm going to put abandoned checkout. And then I'm going to click done. So I know exactly what this automation is. Now, you see where it says you forgot something? Just click you forgot something. We're going to click email settings right over here.
And we're gonna name this something for our reference. So if we go to the cheat sheet that you have the ability to download, this is gonna be the first email, right? And you're gonna copy this. The hey var first name, that's a variable. It's called variable first name. It's gonna automatically take the first name of the user and input it here. The sender profile, remember, we're gonna do golden lion or golden lion crown, which is default, but for now I'm just gonna click golden lion because that's the one we set up. And then I'll click next on content. And the subject, right, what you're able to do is hover over the subject and paste in exactly what I gave you inside of the actual email cheat sheet. So, or excuse me, just the cheat sheet in general. Pre-header you don't need to worry about, but click on edit email, right? So once you click edit email, you're gonna wanna follow this particular format. So email copy, logo at the top, etc. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna click on content, we're gonna click image, and then we're gonna drag and drop the image right up here. Now, I have to grab all the assets, but I'm gonna show you how we would go ahead and just put in the logo. So the easiest route for me is to go to goldenlioncrown.com and just grab, as a matter of fact, I'll show you how to do this easier. You go to settings, and then you go to files, and then over here, you'll be able to see different, I think logos, if I'm correct, yes. So here we go. And as a matter of fact, let me see if we have one. No, we'll just use this one, and then we'll make the background black. So save image as, and then I'm gonna go to golden lion, and then I'm gonna do copy of. Now I have a logo here. Again, you can create a logo relatively easy. I showed how to do that in the 2021 configuration video of how to set up a successful Shopify store. So I definitely recommend watching that again and making sure you download the cheat sheet. So the first thing I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna delete this, and you're gonna see why. I'm actually gonna go into sections. I'm gonna click full row, and I'm gonna paste the full row up here. Now I'm gonna click on the full row, and what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to grab the image for content and drop it in there. Now, when I go ahead and do that, I'm gonna click over here, go to golden lion, copy of golden lion. Oh, that didn't save correctly as a matter of fact. So what I'm gonna do for the logo really quickly, instead of just going ahead and downloading it right from the site, I'm actually gonna go ahead and go into Canva, and I'm going to edit exactly what I have here. So I'm gonna just choose the background, and I'm gonna make it white, and then I'm gonna click the logo, and I'm gonna go ahead and make it, black over here. Now I have this as the logo, right? This is the actual logo, but if I click on home, I wanna grab something a little bit different actually. So this one right here. So this is what I want, but I want this to either be black up top over here, or I want it to be white. So let me just do this. Click here, delete content. Let's edit the row. So basically what I'm doing here, you'll probably see this. I'm gonna click right over here inside where it says drag content here. I'm gonna click it, and then I'm gonna click this little layout settings, right? And I'm gonna take the background color over here, and I'm just gonna drag it down to black and click submit. And the reason I did that is because I wanna see what it looks like with a black background. So I'm gonna go back to content, and then I'm gonna grab the image, and I'm gonna drag it in that little box. Now, once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and golden lion crown. I'll actually go and see, how big is this? If I click resize, 1280 by 628, that's fine. I'll just see what happens, and we can always edit this as we need. So, okay, so we have social sharing. So I'm just going to go ahead and select and drag an image. So here we are. I'm gonna grab that, and you see how it imported? Now I'm gonna just go with size, I'm gonna lower it. So you see how it looks good, right? So you can just click it. The size, you can go up and down as you see fit. But here's the thing, if I click on the corner of this, and then I click right over here on the right-hand side, I click on the little gear icon. Remember I changed the background to black? Now look what happens if I put it white. You see how weird that looks? So that's why I put it to black. I'm just gonna click submit so it saves. Now if you wanna play around with the spacing, like the top and whatnot, you can. It's completely up to you. So I'll give it a little bit of spacing, typically like 4 or 5 or so. Nope, that's not what I want. All right, you can stop now. And bottom spacing looks quite fine to me, but we'll give it another 4 or so. So there's a little bit of spacing. So now it's starting to come together. It looks fairly decent. So it auto saves, just so you know. The other thing is logo at the top, which is done. We're gonna grab this headline. I'm gonna click copy, and I'm gonna go into the editor, and I'm gonna paste in, let's see. I'm gonna go to a new line, paste this in, and then do the following. I'm just gonna type it out because it doesn't recognize it from Google when I go ahead and do that. So name, space, comma, right? Don't put the comma right over here. I've never tested it, but I don't want to, and find out that it doesn't pick up on the variable first name because of that comma. So it looks fine with the space. And then you might have forgot something. Okay, and delete all that. Whoops. Okay. So for our first name, you might have forgot something. So let's see how this looks. So I'm gonna click here. So when I click on inside the text, I wanna make sure that I just click the little gear icon again. And you see right over here on the left-hand side, it's like a little builder. So we have the spacing at the top again, right? We have the horizontal spacing, and this is what we wanna mess around with. We wanna go, and we want to just make this look a little neater, right? So this looks a lot better than the way it's spaced out like that, right? So we wanna go ahead and just make sure that it's a tiny bit spaced out, so it's not all on top of each other in one line and there's one word at the bottom. Essentially just making it look good. So the other thing that I like to do is if I go into content right over here and I click on spacer and drag it right under the text, it creates a little spacer, right? So I can click on the spacer and then I can choose how much space that I want. So again, I can just do like 10 and it creates a little space between the product image and the actual top over here. Now I can do the same thing with, you could do it 2 ways. You can drag spacer up here again and do 10, or you can grab the spacer, click this button right over here next to the gear icon, it's a copy, and then this little move icon over here, drag and drop that right above, and now you have spacing, a little bit more spacing as well. So there we go. Here's 10% off on us. We're gonna grab that. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go to content. We're gonna grab text and we're gonna put the text right above the little spacer. We're gonna paste that in, and then we're going to go ahead and just make it with this little button, center aligned. And we wanna take a look at the text size here. So the text size button is actually the big A and the little a. So we'll click that and it's 38, right? So what we're gonna do is take a look at this particular, actually, no, we're not gonna take a look at that because it doesn't really matter. So, because we just want it to match up top. So we're not gonna make it 38, but we're gonna try to make it look somewhat big and noticeable, but not gaudy. So let's try 17, right? Okay, interesting. Let's delete that spacer. Now this is where we're gonna need another spacing, right? So if we click on content, go to spacer, add a spacer in between, and then just space it out roughly 15 or so. And that looks pretty good actually. So if I just put my hand over the rest, yeah, it looks pretty decent. So we have that set up, cart abandonment dynamic image. You're gonna leave this as is, okay? You're gonna leave this as is like SendLane gives it to you, because what it does is it pulls the image, like it literally goes ahead and pulls the image from your actual Shopify store. It'll grab the product name and it'll actually put the product price, and then the complete your order button goes to the checkout, right? It doesn't go to the cart page, it goes directly to the checkout with the product in the cart, which is why this is so important to use. Okay, so this is like highly imperative. You understand why this is, why this is very powerful. So I'm gonna just label this, and I'm gonna put this in like a little red because this is static. As promised, here's a 10% off coupon, and here we go. Let's go back to SendLane, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on content again. We're gonna click on text, and we're gonna put the text right under where it says complete your order. And I'm gonna just paste this in. As promised, here's your 10% off coupon. And I'm gonna click on the little spacing, make it aligned in the middle. And then what's the text size we use over here? It was 17. So we're going to go ahead and just do 17 again. And then we're going to add in a spacer yet again. So we're going to go to content, spacer. We'll add a spacer right here. So there's a little space between complete your order and then as promised. And then what we can do is enter in the coupon code for 10% off. Now, we would do that in our Shopify backend where it says discounts. And right here, Lion 10, I already set this up. So Lion 10, use Lion 10 at checkout. Okay, use Lion 10 at checkout. Now we have this flowing really well, right? So right over here, we're gonna copy this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click in this little box. I'm gonna click the little settings icon, and then I'm gonna copy the text again. Now, what I'm gonna do with this text is I'm gonna put it under the use Lion right over here. I'm gonna put it right under it. And then I'm going to just paste in what I copied. I'm gonna center it yet again. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it 17. There we go. And I'm going to make it look a little bit prettier. And then we'll edit some text here. All right. So as a matter of fact, use Lion 10 at checkout. We're going to make this definitely a little bigger. All right. So it stands out a little bit more. So we'll do 22. Okay. So, you know what? It can even be a little bit spaced out like that. Let me think here. So we can do one of these. I'm just trying to figure out what makes the most sense to add a spacer or not. So content, spacer, we'll add a spacer right here. We'll make the spacer 25 or 26, and then we'll just copy that, and then we'll put the spacer right here. And let's see how that looks. Use Lion 10 at checkout. Good. So really quickly, let's draw more attention to this. So let's make this 24. Okay, good. So this seems good enough. Okay, so use Lion 10. Now this part right over here, what I want to do is I want to click into it, and then I want to take a look at horizontal spacing, and I want to start moving it in again, right? So I want it to kind of be aligned with everything else. So I want it to be aligned as much as I possibly can have it aligned because it looks really good. So we look forward to having you as part of the Lion tribe, a part of the Golden Lion family. If you have any questions, you can reply to this email or click reply to this email. All right. And I'll edit that out for you guys in the sheet as well. And we will respond promptly. So the other thing that I want to do before we go ahead and move forward is I want to edit this button, the complete your order button. So I'm actually going to click it. And now on the left-hand side, we're able to do some stuff. So in the text, just put finish your order. All right. Now what I want to do is we're going to leave everything else the same. You could change the colors around, but don't touch the link. Font size, we're going to make this a little bit bigger, but the width, we're going to go ahead and stretch it out. Vertical spacing, we're going to go to roughly 20 or so because the text, the font is going to get bigger as well. So we want it to be, let's just say 35, and the width a little bit bigger here. Font family, we can leave it as is. But now finish your order really stands out. It really, really stands out. So what we want to do at the very end of this is we want to go ahead and click the little right-hand corner of this box again and just click on the little duplicate, and it duplicates this, right? So what we want to do is we want to click on the second one right here, and on the right-hand side, what you want to ideally do is just keep going down until you get to the bottom, okay? And yeah, essentially that's, I don't know why that error was popping up. So just click back into this, email settings, next, edit email, and here it is. So now it looks extremely, extremely professional as well. So what I want you to do is I want you to click on these little dots right here, and I want you to just click Save as Custom Template. And then we're just gonna do Golden Lion, okay? Golden Lion, cart, abandon. And click save. And now your template is saved because we're going to use this again in just a few moments. So you can go ahead and click the little 3 dots again. And then I'm going to do send a test email. And I'm going to actually send this to, let's do, so here it is, literally just received 0 minutes ago. Now don't worry about the broken image because it's not pulling anything. This is a test email, literally. It says, hey, Dan, remember var first name? And then here's the first name with a comma in front of it. Now, if you really wanted to get kind of jiggy with it, you can just delete that, click send a test email, send again, and we can finally see if this is something, let's see, show. Yeah, there we go. So you can use a comma. All right, cool. So if we were to click finish your order, as you can see that on the bottom left hand, like where my mouse is, you'll see it populate. It says variable Shopify abandoned cart URL, use line 10 at checkout, and then this is it. That's the email, right? So it looks really clean. Looks really, really good, actually. So I like the way this is all set up. However, you have to set up a sequence. You need email 2 and email 3. So what we're going to do is quickly create those. So I'm going to click save and continue, and it's going to bring you here. Just click done. All right. Now this is also important. If this says inactive, you want to go ahead and just click active right over here and then click done. And you'll have to activate it in 2 places, but I'll show you what to do in just a few seconds. So I'm going to just go and use the little magnifying glass to look outwards. And then I'm going to click this little plus button. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the timing. I'm going to click wait. And what I want to do, I like doing this in hours. I'm going to do 24 hours and then click done. And then I'll click the plus sign again and click send message and then email. And then what I'm going to do is I can duplicate this original message, right? So I'll just click the original one that we duplicated, and then I'll go to the second email, and then I will just copy the subject and I'll just paste it in here, and I'll click duplicate. Now everything's the same. Click next content, and then the subject line, don't forget to change the subject line. And then right over here, click edit email. And we're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of the editing. We already did the logo at the top. So var first name, do you still want it? So var first name, do you still want it? Do you still want it? So there we go. And then we are saving this for you. We're saving this for you. All right, actually, let's just do this. We are saving this for you. And then we can, let's just make the spacing a little bit smaller, like 5. Okay, cool, that looks great. And then we have the cart abandonment dynamic image. But again, don't forget, this is static. And then let's sweeten the deal. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just do let's sweeten the deal. And don't forget, we're working with size 18 font here. So what you can do is leave this here, which is the coupon. Then we're going to copy this part at the bottom. And under the coupon, we're going to paste this in. We're going to center align this. And then we're going to just click the little back, go to 18. And then what we're going to do is obviously space this out. And then don't forget to edit. If you have any questions, you can reply to this email, and we will respond promptly. So act fast and get your golden lion crown statue before we are sold out or the coupon stops working. And then that's it. So golden lion crown. Now, if you want to, you can separate this on its own line to make it look a little, cleaner, if you will. And even if you want to, let's go to 2026 maybe. Let's go to 2026. Yeah, why not? That's fine. So you can keep it like that. And let's sweeten the deal. Let's delete this so it's all on one line. Finish your order. Yes. Let's do yes. Complete my order. Complete my order. There we go. Set. Okay, cool. And click save and continue. You see how it says inactive over here? We want to click active. We want to click done. Now, again, this is also important, is that you're going to have to do the same thing. Click the plus sign, click wait, and then again, 24 hours. I know in the cheat sheet, it says 48. However, it's 48 hours from the first email. So I'm going to put 24 here, and then I'll tell you 48 hours from last email. All right, so you can understand exactly what I'm referring to. So right over here, I'm not going to go ahead and bore you with the entire process of doing the email again. So I'll click plus, send message, email, and then duplicate. I can duplicate whichever one I want. So still want it. And then just pretty much do the same exact process here, right? So this is exactly how you go out there and create your cart abandonment email series. Now, once you're done, let's just say all these emails are done and they're active. What you're going to do is on the top right-hand corner, you're going to click active. It's currently inactive, so you're going to click active and you're going to click activate. Now this is active and it's completely activated as well. Let me go back to automations. So this one, right, Golden Lion Crown Abandoned Checkout, they're going to get the first email and wait another 24 hours. Then they're going to get the second email, wait another 24 hours, then the third email as well. But the first email isn't sent out until after 1 hour, all right? So just keep that in mind.
Next is all about customer follow-up. Now, this is so important. When it comes down to following up with your customers, you have to understand the best type of customer you can have is somebody who's already purchased from you before. They're proven to purchase, so you just have to offer them more relevant items or something similar to what they've purchased before. So if you can really nail down this part, you'll be able to make just a whirlwind of cash. I promise you, so many people miss out on so much money, specifically with this part, because they don't implement it. So you're gonna see with the SendLane, with the email service provider that you use, it doesn't need to be SendLane, but I'm gonna show you inside of SendLane how to set this all up and how they have email configuration all set up for you already. So again, let's just dive into that right now.
Now what we're gonna talk about is if you have customers, how to follow up with them with more products and a cross-sell or upsell series. So this is actually relatively really easy to do. However, what we really want to focus on is right over here, is the day-by-day sequence and then how to implement the day-by-day sequence. Now, before I go ahead and dive in and show you how to do it, let me explain to you what this all is. So, right, like it says right over here, people love to purchase, right? When they're in the buying mood, they typically will go ahead and keep on buying from you. And if you make the buying pleasure or experience a, relatively fun process or even easy process, they're going to be more inclined to go ahead and come back and purchase from you. So the flow that I like to do is on day one, the purchase happens and you essentially just want the confirmation email to be sent out. Now I have tested sending out emails 3 to 5 hours later that say, hey, new customer, flash offer, right? It literally says new customer, flash offer. And then it's a higher ticket item with a deep, deep discount. Day 2, nothing, give it a rest. Day 3, 4 items you might love. And in SendLane, I'll show you how to set up those 4 items. Day 4, nothing. Day 5, limited coupons. So you create 100 coupons and you say the first 100 people to go ahead and use this coupon, you get a free X, Y, and Z, or you get 50% off, whatever it is. Day 6, nothing. Day 7 and 8, this only works if you're niche down. It can work for a general store, but it works a lot better for something like Golden Lion Crown. So you essentially want to pre-sell a high ticket offer, $100 to $300. Hype and excite them. You want to build excitement about what you're dropping tomorrow. That's day number 7. Day number 8, you want to drop the product and say that it's limited stock and make sure that it is limited as well. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how to create the first 1, 3, and 5. So day 1, 3, and 5. So inside of SendLane, you already know if you go to your list segment right over here, you have your customer list. Now what we really want to do is we want to create an automation right over here with our customer list. So we're going to click on new automation. We're going to click on e-commerce. And then what we're going to do, so once you're over here, what you want to do is click recommend similar products. So we're going to click recommend similar products. And then we're going to do Golden Lion Crown. All right, so Golden Lion Crown, similar products, and then we're going to just do customers. All right, click done. Configure product, select the store, Golden Lion Crown, checkout is complete, yes. Order status, you can leave it to unfulfilled, you can leave it to any. What I like to do is I like to go ahead and I like to leave it to any because I still want them to continue getting this email regardless. So what products do I want this to trigger on? Instead of any, I'm gonna just click on this one product, but I can leave it to any, right? I can just put any, and this will happen with any product, which again, is more than optimal for you if you have multiple different products, right? So if we have a lot of different products, you know, we can leave any, but if you want it to only trigger on 3, you would click the 3. So click done. And what you're gonna do is instead of wait 3 days, if we were to go ahead and implement this right over here, if we're gonna go ahead and implement the new customer flash offer, we're gonna go ahead and wait 3 hours. So we would just put 3 hours, click done, and then we'd click on the email, and then we'd click create new email, and then we would just go ahead and name this particular email. So give me 1 second, I'm gonna go into my swipe files that I have for other stores, and I'll also add it into the cheat sheet that you can go ahead and download below. So inside of the cheat sheet, you'll see follow-up emails and day 1, 3, and 5. So we have the first email in Autoresponder for customer follow-up day 1. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head into our automations that we were in, and you're gonna go ahead and copy the subject, new customer flash sale. And what you're gonna do is pick the sender. Obviously, we're going to do the one that we created. And I'll click next contact. Now subject again, make sure it's there. Leave the pre-header as is. Click create email. Now this is pretty important, okay? So you see the custom tab right here. Click on custom. And this is where we saved our template. So we can click use template. And so here's the template that we went ahead and saved. So we already have the logo at the top. All we need to do is copy the text here. And remember, we're gonna have to do a little bit of this in order to go ahead and edit that. And as a new customer, we have some great news. Okay, as a new customer, we have some great news. And then right over here, we'll grab this. And this is the deal, right? If you purchase any of these products, we'll give you 1 extra completely free. So we're gonna put completely free, 1 extra completely free. And I'll even make this a little bit bigger just so it kind of, you know, stands out, if you will. So, and as a matter of fact, we'll make this a little bold as well. So if we want to play around with the colors, we can too, but I want to keep the black and white vibe to it, right? So I'll italicize it and underline it so it has emphasis. So right over here, we're going to do cart abandonment dynamic images. We're going to do 4 of them ideally, all right? So 4 of them are ideal. So first I'm going to show you something in Shopify. So you need to have at least 4 products in here, but if you don't have 4 products, you can just leave it as is in SendLane and leave it for 1 product. But I just duplicated the main product 3 different times so you can see how to do this if you have multiple products. And the other thing is you need to go into discounts and you need to create a discount code, and then buy X, get Y, excuse me. So then this is what it will look like, right? Buy X, get Y quantity. If you buy any of these specific products, 5 of 5 variants, you get 1, and I just picked 1 variant out of these, and you get it for free. Set a maximum number of uses per order, 1. Customer eligibility, everyone. Usage limits, 1, and limit to 1 use per customer, right? So you want to set these dates, let them be as is, but again, make sure your usage limits are set up correctly. So now that we have 4 products in here, I'm going to show you what to do in regards to this section. So first things first, I'm going to click on content, and you see where it says integrations Shopify. I'm going to drag and drop the product right, you know what I'm going to do? Before I do that, I'm going to click on sections, full row. I'm going to make this its own row, and recommend products from Golden Lion. Number of recommendations, 4. And I'm going to have the title, price, and button, select products, and product image coming soon. It's okay. I guess it's not pulling from Shopify right now. It's okay. 3, 4, import products. Now, this is how it looks, right? So it doesn't really look that good. So I'm just going to click undo. And a lot of people do this, and it's okay. I wanted to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to click sections, and you're going to go to 2 column, and you're going to drag 2 column right there. And then you're also going to go ahead and duplicate the 2 column again. Now what you're going to do is your content, you're going to drag the product right in here, and you're going to do the following. So one product, click select, we're going to grab the first product. Then what we're going to do is on the second product, we're going to do the same thing. Grab it from here. We're going to do one product again. We're going to grab the second product this time, right? So we're going to click clear, insert product. All right. So now again, we're going to go back into content, products, golden lion, select products. There we go. All right. So let's click clear. Okay. Just do this really quickly. So the image isn't available here. All right, so we'll add that there. Good. And so we're going to just drag this product here, right? One product, select product, insert, and there we are. So obviously the image isn't there, so it looks kind of off balance, if you will. But if the images were in here, that'd be fine. So let's just say I wanted to go ahead and only have 2 products in my case, right? So I just delete this. I would just click, I'd leave that there for now actually. And then I'd go back to sections, drag and drop. And I would just go into content, product. Here we go, golden lion, 1 product. And then I just click the products with the actual images. All right, so whoops, click cancel on there. Go back to content, Shopify, there we go. Golden lion, 1, select, and then we're going to grab the other one, and there we are. So essentially, it says copy 2. So if I just put, you'll see, there we go. So it's on the same line. Now this is also important. We're going to go ahead and we're going to just delete this. And so we'll just, we'll delete this section. Click delete section. And I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a spacer right over here. And it's going to space out a little bit. So there it is. That's a decent spacer. All right. And spaces this out a little bit as well. So now the spacer looks fairly, fairly good. And I'm going to change the color here. Let's make it black. Click submit. The width, let's kind of get this to 130. Font size, let's do 25. Let's see if I can go 25 and 130 exact. 25 and 130, okay. So let's do 25 over here and 130. Okay, so there we go. And then the color here, there we go. So get this, or we'll just put buy now. All right, and we'll do the same thing for this buy now. All right, so, and what we could do actually, just so it looks a little bit better, we'll drag this out to 150, and then we'll drag the width out to 150 as well. All right, so there we go. We have these set up. Now we go back to here. All right, and we'll just grab this. Please do this. Okay, we're going to center this. All right, we are going to make this 17, and then we'll put the coupon code and we'll grab this. So new 1, use new 1. And what size is this exactly? 17, is that correct? 17, let's figure this out. So we're gonna go 17 font. Definitely not, but it'll get the job done. So do not share this coupon, etc. So this is what the email will look like. I actually really like, I like the way this looks a lot actually. So I'm gonna click this right over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click like an image. Well, just click in the box anywhere. And then I'm gonna click this little gear icon. Now, what I'm doing here, to be quite honest with you, is just playing around with some stuff. So if I click on section, you can edit your background color if you wanted to edit your background color. You can edit your column settings, all of that. So if you want top spacing in one of the columns, you can easily go ahead and do it. You could do it. So that's exactly what you can do in regards to editing this entire box. And if you wanted to change the color, you see how that works. You just change the color right there. So you have full control over this particular box. So this looks really, really good, exceptionally good actually. So that's how we would go ahead and we would create the emails. And all you have to do is click Save and Continue, change this to active, click Done, and then don't forget to make sure it's active on the top right-hand corner. And then, what you want to do is click the plus icon again, wait, and then you want to wait, let's just see. So day 2, nothing. So we did day 1, day 2, so we're going to wait, let's see. Let's do some math here. So this is day 1, and we want to skip day 2, so we're going to wait 48 hours, okay? Excuse me. So we're basically going to wait 2 days to send this. Click Done. So if this is sent on Monday, it skips Tuesday and goes to Wednesday, if that makes sense to you, okay? And this will be sent out Wednesday. And so all you have to do is just keep building these emails inside of the builder. So you just click plus, send message, email. You can use a duplicate and then duplicate it from there, add your subject in, etc. So if you've been following along this far, you know exactly how to do that. And I have laid out 3 different emails for you to go ahead and copy and use and just paste inside of your customer follow-up and how to make more sales. Now you can go as deep as you want with this. You can go like 30 days every other day, for example. You can go, let's just say 15 emails deep every other day is sent. There's so much that you can do here. You have so much power in your control to make a lot of money. But what we're going to talk about next is newsletter sign up and how the flow should go with your newsletters.
Now, one of the most underutilized aspects of a store is the newsletter. A lot of people, they collect emails or they have a newsletter at the footer. However, nobody really does anything with these customers, if you will. I'm going to show you how to set up an automated email sequence to bring these newsletter subscribers and turn them into raving buyers, raving fans of your particular store with their credit card in hand, ready to purchase whatever you have to offer if done correctly. So let's dive into that right now.
Next, what we're going to be talking about is newsletter and flows. Now, every single Shopify theme has native newsletter integrations. Now, I'm going to show you how this works and how to actually create the flow. So, in order to monetize a newsletter, we're going to use, obviously, SendLane, and we're going to create a main template. And what we're going to do is we're going to send that main template at least once a week to all the newsletter subscribers. Now, you can make this very, very generic to fit any single product or products. Remember, the newsletter is to inform about new products or anything new that's happening, so it's really hard to nail this down without using what's known as the broadcast feature. So I'm going to show you what the broadcast feature is, but before I do that, I'm actually going to show you how the individuals who sign up to your newsletter go ahead and get back into SendLane. So if I go to my lists right over here, let's not forget we have newsletter down here, right? So the very first thing that you want to do is just make sure you have a newsletter somewhere on your particular store. Now, I think I actually removed the footer on here. Let me see. Okay, so there's a newsletter down here. Now, I didn't set up what happens after, I submit my email address, but typically it'll just say success or whatever it is. So what I'm going to do is just enter an email +4@gmail.com, click subscribe, and there we go. So let's click on I'm not a robot, click submit, and then it'll just appear with like a little message down here, says newsletter success, yada yada. So great, it's fine. Typically it'll just say success or it'll reset, whatever it is. So if we go back to our lists in SendLane, you can see that I have 1 subscriber in here, and that was already in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh, and you can see now I have 2 subscribers. So redcutmarketing +4@gmail.com has been added in there as a subscriber. So now we're gonna have a really, really, really big newsletter list. This is really important to monetize because these are people that have shown some type of intent with your particular brand and they wanna be updated with what you have to offer. So what we would actually go ahead and do is we would click on dashboard. Well, we can do a few things actually, but first let's just go to the dashboard and let's discuss what we can do. The very first thing we can do is we can prepare and prep a broadcast. So I'm actually going to show you later on how to set up broadcasts for your entire list. But what I'm going to do now is show you how to set up a broadcast just for the newsletter. Now, a broadcast, what it does is sends the campaign to everybody in a certain list. And when we talk about tags and segments, you'll also be able to go ahead and send to people in certain tags and segments, but more on that later. So we want to send an email every single week to everybody on the Golden Lion newsletter. So what we would do is we would click on campaigns, the little paper plane icon over here, and we would click on new campaign. Now the campaign name, we would just name it, whatever we want to name it. This is for our reference, like whoa there, right? Whoa there, this can't be real. So I'd like to name it whatever I'm going to be sending out as. And you see right here, 2 list segments or tags. I'm going to leave it to list and segments for now. And the list that I'm going to be using is the Golden Lion newsletter. I'm going to drag and drop it to include. Now, the sender profile, I'm going to use the one we created, Golden Lion, and I'm going to click next, right? So the subject, I'll paste it in there again. And the pre-header is the little message that's previewed right next to the email, or if you're in your email inbox, it's right below the headline. So you're never going to believe this. You can also leave this blank. So we're going to click create email. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to either look at the design, all right, so we can take a look at some of these right down here. Or if you want to go ahead and use your own, you can click custom. And remember, we have this template saved. So let's just click our custom template and use template. So what we're going to do here is the following. We're actually going to go ahead and, kind of build this email for it to be a newsletter. So variable first name, you won't believe the savings today. All right, for a limited time, we have certain products that are on sale that have never been before. Meaning, if you want to get your hands on a special deal, now is the time. And again, when it comes to a newsletter, you can determine what you want it to say. So we're going to go content. And we're going to go sections, and we're going to go ahead and just get the columns again, and we're going to drag the columns there. Now I'm just going to delete this section, delete section. Now I'm also going to go ahead and again, go to sections, and then I'll go to columns. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to content after we add in the sections and just click product. We're going to drag the product in. Don't forget to click your store and just click a single product. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to just not check the price because we're going to leave it to be a mystery basically. So we're going to just do this for, all these little sections that we have over here and uncheck price. And then we'll grab, let's uncheck this, grab this one, insert product. And so we're just going to keep on grabbing, these products, right? Now, I'm not going to add in the other section over here with the other 2 filler products just because I don't want to waste time. So essentially, what we have over here is these particular products, the names, and then the buttons. Now, when we go ahead and we create these, you can create different images and add them in. You can really do whatever you want. But if somebody clicks on the image, it automatically takes them to the product itself. So let's not forget that we can edit the button as we like. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as is. So because of time constraints, obviously. But let's just go ahead and say I'll do 1 for the sake of doing it. So by now, click submit there. Font size, we're going to go 25. Width around 100, we'll go around 190 or so. So by now. And vertical spacing, we can just go ahead and leave it to 13 or so. And then you can do the same thing with the other button. So you have a lot of different options with your coloring and your color patterns and whatnot. Really, it kind of depends what you want to go ahead and do. But at the end of the day, you'll be able to completely have control over your particular buy buttons that you, quite frankly, should be properly setting up and making sure it's all there. So again, I wasn't going to do this, but I just decided last minute that I'm going to, because my ADD is kicking in and I want this to look as perfect as humanly possible. So then when I send the test email, it looks good. So there we go. All right, so we have buy now. And you can add in more products. We can delete this bottom section, whatever it is. So let's go ahead and just say this. If you are serious about one of these products, we will even do something insane for you right now. On top of the current discount, you can also claim an extra 10% off by using the coupon below. And then talk about savings. All right, so leave it like that. Use line 10 at checkout, etc. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to click the little three prongs over here, and I'm going to click send a test email, and I'm going to just do right over here, and I'm going to go look at the email inside of my inbox and see where it lands. Here we are. This is what the email will look like. Test, whoa there, this can't be real. And this is what the email goes ahead and looks like. So if you wanted to make any edits, or you wanted to create some spacing, whatever it is, you can do that. So the other thing is that if you click on preview, you'll be able to see what it looks like on mobile as well, and what it will look like in email. But again, I just sent a test email to show you what it looks like inside of the inbox. So you can edit as you need, and again, it's pretty simple. So close preview, save and continue. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and just click next schedule. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and schedule this. Well, we can do two things. We can go ahead and send immediately, or we can schedule. You can schedule this for whatever time you want. So in my case, it can be today at, let's just say 2:45 p.m. So in 4 minutes. So I'm just going to click next schedule campaign. And there we go, it's scheduled. So in 4 minutes, it'll actually go ahead and start sending to the contacts. If I go to my lists, you can see right here, it'll send to the contacts, my 2 emails, the email that we just went ahead and created, to the newsletter email, right? So now that we have the campaign, if you hover over audience, you can see that the Golden Lion newsletter is exactly who it's being sent out to. But again, you want to go ahead, and best practice is to go and create a custom newsletter every single week at the same exact time. So I want you to read the newsletters and how to monetize them section in the 7-figure ecom cheat sheet that you can download below. But next, what we're going to be talking about is delivery and the best practices to make sure your emails hit inbox and they don't go to spam.
When it comes down to email delivery, it's very important that you know what's going on. Email delivery isn't as easy as, hey, let me just send an email to these people and they're gonna get it in their inbox. There's so much more and little intricacies that really go into it. As a matter of fact, it's one of the hardest things to really nail down when it comes to an automated business. Like I said, it's not just about uploading an email, clicking send, and you're good to go. There's a reason why email service providers like SendLane, Klaviyo, Aweber, Infusionsoft, all of these different ESPs and CRMs are very strict with their email sending protocols, is because it takes a lot of time to warm up IPs, to warm up websites, and to make sure that email's inbox. Sounds really confusing, but I'm gonna go ahead and break it down in layman's terms, and I hope you understand it. And again, enjoy this part.
So let's talk about email delivery. Now, when it comes down to email delivery, nobody really talks about this, and it's kind of something that is really important because of the simple fact that it determines whether or not you go into the inbox or you end up like right over here. I'm going to show you this. I found this really interesting. This came from Shopify, right? It comes from Shopify and it goes to spam. So if you want to have your emails in spam that nobody reads, then you can skip this part. But if you don't want your emails to go to spam, then I would highly suggest paying close attention and making sure that you download the cheat sheet with all the best practices and links that I'm going to be adding in for you to check if your emails will go to spam. So the very first thing that you need is you need a good ESP or email service provider. Now, I've tried a lot of them. I tried Klaviyo, I've tried Aweber, I've tried Infusionsoft, which is more of a CRM. I've tried a lot of different email broadcasting services. SendLane takes the cake with the automation, just the delivery as well. The click-through rates are really high because they're templates. And not only that, but their support is astronomically good. So, and for the record, I get nothing for telling you about SendLane. Literally, I make no money. I can be a referral or an affiliate and refer you to other places that make me money, but I'm actually trying to help you and get your emails delivered to the inbox. Now, you want to make sure that your IP address for your domain name is clean. Now, why is that important? What does that mean? So essentially, every single website has its own IP address. And when you send an email, Google or other email services, they'll actually see the IP address and they'll say, okay, does this IP spam a lot? And that's why emails from Shopify end up going to spam, because a lot of people abuse the regular Shopify IP addresses with their stores and spam. So a lot of those emails end up going to spam. So how do you check if something like Golden Lion Crown is eligible for not being on the blacklist, right? Because there's a blacklist of emails that there's actually a blacklist checker for all emails that'll tell you if your email will go ahead and go to spam or not. And you can find that link inside of the cheat sheet. So we're going to go to MX Toolbox. And I'm going to show you one of my blacklisted sites, right? So duplicatedan.com, blacklist check. You see that it's listed on here twice, and it's the IP that was listed, right? So the IP over here was listed, and you never want to end up on any type of blacklists, right? So I'm going to paste in Golden Lion Crown and then just click blacklist check, and you'll see everything here says okay. We are golden on here, right? So you can see that there's 2 that are listed, and then right over here on Golden Lion, there's nothing for blacklists and whatnot. And that's why when I sent out this campaign, you'll see right over here, I opened it myself. Again, we have 2 people in the audience. I opened the email. Obviously, I opened the email. So it delivered. It delivered right over here. So 8 minutes ago to this email, and it just says test woe there just because that was the original headline. Now again, remember when we went into SendLane and we went over here and we went to senders? It's important that your website that you're using has a good reputation on the blacklist, because if it's blacklisted somewhere, your emails are more than likely going to go to spam. And that's the last thing that you want to happen. So the other thing you need to keep in mind is you have to build trust with emails that you send out, meaning that you can't just upload a list and go. Now, if you do try to upload a massive list of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people, what's going to happen is, sources and email providers like Google and Yahoo, and you try to email them from a new website with a fresh IP, and you try to offer, mail with a new offer, they're more than likely going to send you to spam because you've never emailed these individuals from that new website. So Google automatically thinks, hey, look, this is a spammer. So what you have to do is through your sequences, your automations, as people go through these very slowly, this is called warming up the IP. As people go through these really, really slowly, day in and day out, it builds reputation with sources like Gmail and Yahoo, and it tells them, okay, listen, these people aren't spamming. So then when you do go ahead and you initiate a campaign or a massive broadcast, it gets delivered exactly to their inbox, right? So this is pretty important that you understand how this works. Trust is built with automations and sequences. So the more sequences and people you put through your automations, the more trust you're going to build, which in turn means when you send out massive broadcasts, you have a higher chance, and you're going to have a way better chance of them delivering and not going to the spam inbox. Very, very important. So if you do end up in spam, that can be a very bad sign. Now, sometimes there's harsh spam filters that might put your emails in spam, but if you send a test email from your email service provider and then it goes to spam, that's a really bad sign. So you want to make sure whenever you send a test email that the test email lands in your inbox. That's very important. So once your domain is fried, you pretty much have to get a new domain so you can start inboxing again, and then you have to warm it up with the process that I literally just told you. And it's very, very daunting to do. Now there's more information that I'm gonna be releasing underneath this, so if you wanna read more about the best practices for delivery and making sure your emails don't go to spam, just go ahead and download the ecom cheat sheet right in the description down below. Next, we're gonna talk about tags, segments, and how to broadcast to those tags and segments.
One of the coolest features is the ability to tag people. Now, tag customers, newsletter subscribers, tag anybody. I mean, literally, you can tag people that engaged with one particular email. You can literally create segments, and we'll talk about that later on, but you can tag certain individuals that took certain actions. And this is gonna be so important when we actually dive in, and you'll see exactly how to use this, but let me just tell you why this is important, is because if somebody clicks on a link that says they're interested in, I don't know, golden lion statues, then what's cool is that you'll be able to tag them, put a tag inside of your email service provider like SendLane and say, okay, this person clicked on this link and this link was attributed to a tag that's called golden lion statues. So you're actually able to email everybody in that tag group. So let's just say you have an email list of 100,000 people and only 2,000 of them clicked on golden lion statue, and that tag is attributed to 2,000 people. So you can email to those 2,000 people only without annoying the rest of the 98,000 people. So with that being said, let me show you exactly how to set up tags based on links and how tags work and how you can utilize them to the max potential.
So next, let's talk about tags and implementation of tags. So what is a tag exactly? Well, a tag lets you go ahead and add a unique identifier to a specific contact. And it lets you sort, filter, and just go through your particular contacts and campaigns, etc. Through tags, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tag the individuals that purchase the golden lion statue. So if I click on new tag right over here, and how I got here was I hovered over the audience and I just clicked on tags right over here, and then I'm gonna click new tag. Now I'm just going to put purchase golden lion, and I'm gonna click save. Now I have the tag over here. Now what I'm gonna also go ahead and do is I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go into my automations. Now, inside of my automations, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do new automation, and all I'm gonna do is just click on, well, I can do a lot of different things over here. I can click on e-commerce and then post product follow-up, but if I really wanted to, we could take a look right over here. They bought the golden lion crown. The product is any, but we're gonna go ahead and do the statue right over here. So if they purchase the statue, right? So I'll actually change this, and what we'll do is golden lion crown purchase, all right? Golden lion crown purchase, similar products, all right? So similar products, tag. And then we'll go ahead and label this tag just so I know exactly what's going on here. So right over here, store golden lion crown, checkout is complete, yes, order status any. Golden lion crown right over here is the product that we're gonna be using. So, or the golden lion crown statue. Now, you're gonna click this little plus icon right underneath the first trigger. You're gonna click plus, and what you're gonna do is you're going to go ahead and update contact property, and you're going to add a tag. So you're gonna add a tag, and the tag is gonna be purchase golden lion, and you're just gonna go ahead and click done. So now when somebody purchases, it'll go ahead and add the tag purchase golden lion. So it automatically saves. So let me go back to my list of contacts, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take myself, right? I'm gonna take myself, I'll click on my particular profile, and what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to add a tag to myself. I'm gonna click add tag, and I'm going to add the golden lion tag, but this will happen automatically. I just wanna show you what happens when a tag is added, right? Automatically. So when somebody purchases, this will happen automatically. I'm just doing this manually. So I added the tag over here, and so you can see that the tag is now added, purchase golden lion. So if we went ahead into our campaigns, right? Remember with the whole broadcasting sequences, what we can do is we can click on new campaign, and we can just do, test tag, right? Test tag, click next. And what I'm going to do is instead of the list and segments, I can click on tags. And tags, I can go ahead and drag and drop purchase the golden lion. And then again, the sender profile, next content. You get the idea. Test lion. All right. Create email. We'll go ahead and just use this. We'll just use template. All right. Save and continue. And then next schedule. And what we'll be able to do is we can send immediately, or we can schedule it. So I'm just going to send the campaign really quickly. As you can see, purchase golden lion. The people with the tag are the only ones who are going to receive this. So essentially what happens here, I don't remember which email it's being sent to, but what's happening here is I'm able to go ahead and send just to the people that purchased the golden lion crown. And the other thing that I have the ability to do is if I go back into contacts right over here, and let me just see. So that was sent to Red Cut. Okay. So I'm literally able to go out there, take a look at tags, and then I can take a look at how many people are in the audience, right? So I click on audience, and I can take a look at how many people are in here and who they are. So this is really, really useful in regards to being able to build a very segmented list based on tags. So the other thing that you can do, which is really, really cool, is this. So if I go to campaigns, I click new campaign, just do tag click, right? This is going to be really, really cool for you, is that if I drag that audience in there, as a matter of fact, let's just go into new list and segment. I'm going to do cart abandonment, and then this is what I'm going to do. Golden lion, click next, and then I'm going to do testing the tag. All right, create email, custom, use this as template. Now take a look at this. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attribute a link click to a tag. So click here to get tagged, example, right? So click here to get tagged. Now let's just say I want to go ahead and use this particular URL. So golden lion statue. So I'm going to go back in here. I'm just going to click on the hyperlink, and then we can click add tag. Take a look at this. Create a new tag. Clicked email one header, right? Click email one headline, excuse me. Right? This is really powerful. So click email one headline, but you know what? I'm going to show you a use case, right? Hey, var first name. Tell us what you love. Take a look at this. I love lions, birds, dogs. So lions, add tag, lions, create birds. Right over here, link. All right, I'll just use the same link just for example purposes. Birds, right? And then dogs. So let's just do this and then add, whoops, let's add a tag. And then we're going to, whoops, there we go, add a tag and then dogs. Now this is really cool. So I'm going to click save and continue, and then I'm going to click next schedule. I'm going to just send immediately, and it's going to send out this broadcast. Now this is going to be really cool for you to watch as it happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one of those links, right? So I'm going to click on one of the particular links. And there's 3 people in the audience. Interesting. I'm going to click on one of those links, and it's going to automatically tag this email. So what we're going to do is wait for this email to come in, and then I'll show you exactly how the tag application works just by clicking on the link. It's relatively cool and really easy to do as well. So here we are, and just so you know, this landed in the primary inbox right over here. So we have Golden Lion, tell us which one do you love. So we're going to take a look at the email, richkidsmarketing+2@gmail. So I'm going to click on dogs, right? I clicked on dogs, and it took me over here to this link that we set up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to my contacts, or you know what, I'll even just go to tags. I clicked on tags, and you see dogs. I'll click on audience, and it automatically lists me as the tag under dog. Now, if I click on the other ones as well, it'll put me in those tags. So I can go ahead and set up email broadcasts specifically to these tags. So I hope you see how powerful this truly is and what you can do. Next, what we're going to do is talk about segments and how to use them to your best benefit.
Now, segments. This is one of my favorite parts about using SendLane. Now, this is why I highly recommend SendLane, because the way you can create a segment, now you're like, Dan, why is segmenting so cool? Let's just say you have a customer on your email list who's tagged with Golden Lion statue that opened email number 4 on January 8th of 2021. You can create a segment of individuals who are tagged with that tag that opened that one specific email on that date. The infinite possibilities of what you can create with segments is infinite. And then you can email those segments. So let's just say we have 100,000 people again, right? And we have individuals that were tagged with Golden Lion Crown. But out of those people that were tagged with Golden Lion Crown, you only want to email the people that did not open your email. You're actually able to go ahead and email those people. So out of those 2,000 people from the example before, let's just say 2,000 people are tagged with Golden Lion Crown. You send them all an email, but only 500 open. What about the other 1,500? Well, you don't want to annoy the 500 that opened, so you can create a segment based on the tags and based on the unopened of the email that was sent to those people in that tag, and then email the 1,500 separately as its own email broadcast. So that's what segments do. And just imagine how powerful it is, because you get to talk to and speak to and write to those specific customers tailored to their behavior. All right, so again, let's dive into segments.
So one of the very last aspects of running a proper email automation sequence and how to properly go out there and broadcast to your new email subscribers is segments. Now, segments are pretty important because what they allow you to do is they allow you to create literally any type of segment that you could possibly imagine of your email list to email out to. So if we actually head in, if we're on the dashboard of SendLane, we go into the Audiences tab and then we click on Segments, you'll see that you have pre-populated segments. So, Shopify Shop, one-time customers, engaged contacts, repeat customers, non-customers, etc. for each and every store. But we're able to take this a step further by clicking on New Segment. Now, when we click on New Segment, we're going to name the segment, but we'll name it in just a few minutes based on what criteria that we're looking for. Now, what we're going to do here is we can browse all contacts, or we can go ahead and we can really go into the lists that we want to go ahead and really dive into. So let's just say, we want to do all lists. We can click on all lists. If you want to do one particular list, then you can click on, let's just say the customers of Golden Lion, right? So I'm just going to click all lists for now, because perhaps maybe you want to email everybody on your email list, okay? So right over here, email address, you can click on list. You can click custom fields, engagement activity, custom tag in automation or Shopify. So if you click Shopify, you can click on the actual shop that they're a part of, and then the resource can be customer, and then the customer, what you can go ahead and do is you can click on tag, which we already went ahead and set up, right? So contains, and then we can go ahead and type in the tag that is tagged inside of Shopify. But again, there's so many things that we can go ahead and do. So we can do number of orders, country, the customer exists in Shopify in Golden Lion Crown out of all contacts, right? So what it would do is we would go ahead and name this all contacts Golden Lion Crown. Let's do condition or engage in activity, opened email, opened any, all right, campaigns, open any campaign. What we could do, we can just do, let's go here. Let's click, we'll leave it on open. And we'll do any campaign. So, we can leave it to campaigns, any campaigns. So anybody, any contact that's inside of Golden Lion Crown that's a customer that opened any of our campaigns, it'll go ahead and create a segment of this particular list. Now, it seems kind of confusing, right? But here's the thing. Let's say we wanted to go ahead and only target Golden Lion Crown refunded customers, all right, that have opened our broadcast. Let's go to our campaigns, our broadcasts that have only open tag click, open broadcast tag click, right? So this is really, really going down into the trenches of a segment. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go into Golden Lion Crown, right? So we can go into Golden Lion Crown customers, and you can see right over here, order, and then you can also see returned or restocked, and it exists, right? So it exists as a returned or restocked, and they opened the broadcast, okay? So what they did was they opened, tag click right over here. They opened this email. So anybody who refunded on Golden Lion that opened up this particular broadcast email that I sent out right over here is going to be put into this segment. So I hope you can see how powerful this truly is, because you can go out there and create segments that are specifically catered to people that have engaged with you and your particular store or brands. So you're able to email them, have incredibly high conversion rates because the open rates are going to be astronomical because they've engaged with you. So the other thing you can do is just go to engagement strictly, and you could do engage in activity and click on open. Now, if you want to go ahead and get everybody who has engaged with any of your campaigns, you can click on any, all right? And then click on campaigns, and then any campaign over here, right? And then you could do any automation as well. So you click on any campaigns, and you can just trash the second one. But Golden Lion Crown customers, the people that are in this list that opened any of the campaigns. So anybody who opened any of these campaigns that I've purchased from me before. But let's say I wanted to do all lists, right? What I can go ahead and do is I can gather everybody who went ahead in Shopify store, right? And what I can do is I can do, let's just say every single customer that exists, okay? So don't forget, order is, somebody who went ahead and placed the order. Customer is just like a newsletter and whatnot. I don't know if you caught that from before or not, but just want to make sure that you differentiate these two. So if you want to email everybody, it exists in contacts and inside of Golden Lion Crown, right? We can add another condition, and we can say engagement activity opened, okay? Opened any campaign. So now all contacts inside of Golden Lion Crown, that's a customer. All right, so any single person tagged as a customer, not somebody who purchased, just a customer in general, because again, anybody who's in the newsletter also comes in to a customer down here and etc. So you can see like subscribe. These are newsletter subscribers. Eric is somebody who went ahead and abandoned checkout. So I hope you can see the differences here, that the customers all get put into the customer tab. So they exist, right? So we want anybody who opened any campaign. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do Golden Lion Crown, all, opened, all leads, opened any campaign, okay? Open any campaign. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Create Segment. And it's going to say currently processing, and it might have maybe one or two in here depending on how many of my emails that I personally went ahead and opened. So again, so right over here, there's two people in here, and it's both me. So what I'm able to do now is I'm able to go to campaigns, and let's just go ahead and duplicate this campaign and duplicate test. Let me just show you exactly what this does. You can actually go ahead, if you're in list and segments, you see the segments down here, right over here, GLC all leads open any campaign. We drag and drop it over here. We click on the sender profile like normal. And then we just go ahead and we schedule this, and then we can just literally schedule and send immediately once you're done. But I'll save as draft so I don't send it. So again, that's how you use segments. Segments are so powerful if used correctly, because you're able to email those that are super engaged with your brand already, get high deliverability and high click-through rates as well.
So now I hope you see how powerful email marketing is. If you haven't done so yet, make sure that you go into the description down below and you download the cheat sheet so you can get the actual templates that I use. So with all that being said, smash a like on this video if you want more like this, leave a comment down below, and If you're interested in any other topics when it comes down to automation, please let me know. I'm out here creating these really long mini courses to help you and everybody else who's struggling and want to make more sales. So with that being said, my name is Dan Da Silva. It's been a pleasure yet again creating this incredible content for you. Share it with somebody who might need it, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications. I'll catch you in the next video.